If practice makes perfect, then preparation for China's National Day will make for a seamless ceremony. For weeks, students, soldiers, and residents meticulously rehearsing their choreographed steps of military might and nationalistic pride, reflecting China's meteoric rise. What was a struggling nation, China today is the world's second largest economy and growing. October 1st marks 70 years since the founding of Communist China. On that day, all eyes will be looking here, Tiananmen Square. It is the symbolic center of the People's Republic, drawing folks from all over the country to its capital, Beijing. Photographer Gao Yan has been capturing the changes here through his lens.
We've gone from solving the basic problem of having enough food to eat and clothes to wear to today people having money to travel for fun.
China today is the world's leading manufacturer and exporter. It boasts the world's largest standing army. And if global success was not enough, they've become the first nation to ever land a spacecraft on the far side of the moon. All of this happening under a single communist party, led today by President Xi Jinping, a leader who's become increasingly powerful as his country has become wealthier. But China's many advancements have come at a cost. With pollution and air quality issues, widespread development is also taking a toll on the environment. The ongoing trade war slowing China's economy. These mounting concerns now driving away many of its elites. Yang Zi has called Beijing home for the past 20 years. She works long hours as a sales director. It's afforded her a life of leisure and middle-class luxury. But at 40 years old, she's burnt out and now wants out. When the average person looks at you, they would see somebody who seemingly has everything. Beautiful home, a car, access to technology. Why leave?
Materially, I'm very content. But this is not what I'm pursuing for my life. Everyone in China is busy, and everyone is under pressure. Not just me. I'm an example of the majority of the middle class.
She worries about healthcare, education, food safety, and fears social morality here in China has eroded beyond repair.
Everyone rushes about for work, and it's all about money and self-interests. This is not how I want to end up. I want a higher degree of happiness and a better quality of life.
She's already bought a place in Italy, planning to leave behind her rapidly changing homeland. Change that's led to the anniversary ahead, an elaborate show for both China and the world. Watching, you'll likely ask yourself, is it all a fancy facade destined to crumble, or a precursor to China becoming the new world leader? David Culver, CNN, Beijing.
Is a currency war the next front in the US-China trade war? Well, that's what some investors fear after China allowed the yuan to drop to its lowest level in a decade. For the first time since the financial crisis, the yuan slid past the symbolically important level of 7 won to the dollar. And the Trump administration responded, labeling China a currency manipulator. Now, although that's a largely symbolic move, the designation dramatically escalates trade tensions between the world's two largest economies. China, for its part, says it's not manipulating its currency. The country's central bank says trade protectionism and fresh tariffs have led to a fall in the value of many global currencies, and that's also meant pressure on their currency, the yuan. But unlike the United States and other developed nations, China has far more control over the value of its currency. It sets a rate every single day, and the currency is only allowed to move 2% up or 2% down from that point. China's also said it won't engage in competitive devaluations, quote, to deal with the trade dispute, but it is one way China can retaliate against President Trump's tariffs on its goods. Weakening the currency makes China's exports cheaper, and that blunts the impact of tariffs. That's what the Trump administration insists China's up to here. But many analysts question that. They point out that China has spent billions of dollars buying its own currency to prevent it falling too much. And as the Chinese central bank said, weakened growth has caused some of the other regional currencies to lose value versus the dollar since the trade war began. So it's kind of reasonable to suggest that the fall in the Chinese yuan could reflect the currency simply readjusting to the dollar's recent strength. But the big fear here is that it starts a deliberate currency war. What if the Trump administration tries to hit back by devaluing the US dollar? There've been mixed signals from the president about whether he would ever intervene like that.
I can do that in 2 seconds if I want.
Why did you not want to intervene?
Well, I didn't say I'm not going to do something.
The key here is weakening the greenback would have serious risks. Not only the fact that it would mean less purchasing power for all Americans, and that would have repercussions across the entire global economy.
Are you at all insulted that Trump didn't try to get dirt on you from Ukraine?
I think that this Ukrainian business using national security money designed to protect the people of America and use that as leverage to try to get dirt on a political opponent and then trying to cover that up, I mean, this is an outrage on top of an outrage. And I think this has kind of taken millions of people to say, you know what, enough is enough with this guy. I'm not sure that he knows the difference between lying and truth-telling. He grew up as a very rich kid. I think he was a spoiled brat, and he thinks he can do anything that he wants to do. And it is, you know, other people work hard, they tell the truth, they pay their taxes. That's not Donald Trump. And I think we have got to explain to him what the Constitution of the United States is about.
I like to teach my kids to be free thinkers.
Instead, this Watson B. Duncan middle school parent who asked not to be identified over fear of retaliation towards his kid says he's furious over a question that showed up on a recent test. In a now viral tweet, the multiple choice question reads, 45th president, 2017, Republican, real estate businessman, idiot, with the answer being Donald Trump.
I don't believe opinions belong in the classrooms, whether it's religion, politics, ethnic background, or any of those things.
We spoke to other parents at Pickup Thursday who agree.
I'm not surprised. Political is being political, and you know, school is school, so they should keep that out.
The principal at Duncan Middle School sent a letter home to parents Wednesday apologizing for what happened, saying in part the question was inappropriate and demonstrated an unacceptable lack of good judgment on the part of the teacher.
So I would hope that in our culture we could, for other parents, is that to teach your kids to understand what's right and wrong, and that speaking up is not necessarily a bad thing. It's probably the right thing to do.